Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome our next contestant, Amandla Didiza. His speech title, Cuts for Luck and Scars for Freedom. Cuts for Luck and Scars for Freedom, Amandla Didiza.
I remember it like it was just yesterday. At the tender age of 8, I could barely walk, limping from the front door to the lounge. I carefully sidled behind the curtain, hiding behind chairs, hoping not to be met by the sharp eyes from my mother. Luckily for me, I was welcomed by the sports section of my father's newspaper. See, my mother was the kind of mother that will fight with you for being in a fight and will beat you up for being beaten up. And my father, on the other hand, was weird. He would pretend as if nothing had happened because it meant his job of punishing you had clearly been taken care of. This time was different. He looked at me, scrolled his eyes across the cut on the side of my lip and the bruise across my cheek. See, my so-called friends had been responsible for my battered physical state. He took me by the hand and said, "Roses are red, violets are blue. If you pick them, they will prick you." Madam Contest Chair, ladies and gentlemen, see, we're not all too different from a 5 Rand coin, you and I. In our journey of life, we may be tossed and turned with the hope that someone will catch us. We may be dropped with the hope that someone will pick us up. Better yet, we may be used to change lives. Better, other people, used for social interest, economic gain, and all those wonderful terms. Or worse off, they may even try to change you. But the one thing they can never do is take away your value. See, people only come to know you at face value, as beautiful as you all are. But they don't know the real value. They don't know what shaped you, the imperfections and misdirections. All they see is the outer image. Fast forward to another 8 years. As a 16-year-old boy, my heart was shattered. The text read, "I'm sorry, I can't do this anymore. It's over." I could not comprehend it because in my mind, it was over, but in my heart, I was still in love. I tried to call my mother, but then I realized the same mother who had been in a fight with me for getting into a fight and would beat me up for being beaten up, this would not end well. So I went over to my dad and explained to him what had happened. He looked at me, scrolled across the tears on the side of my face and the black turned purple cheeks and said, "Roses are red, violets are blue. If you pick them, they will prick you." I could not understand how my father would joke about something so serious. Come to think of it, I loved that girl more than I loved him at the time. But little did I know the lesson that he would come to teach me. Again, fast forward another 8 years to when I was 24. I had just graduated and got a job. This was the beginning of life for me, a journey of never-ending happiness. I finally could overcome the challenge of being argued with my mother and being beaten by my mother because she had promised me that she'd stop all of that the minute I had a job. I could now finally take that girl out who had texted me and dumped me over the phone because now I was a man. As soon as I got the call that said I got the job, 1,000 fantasies filled my mind. Like the thought of that first sports car, buying my own place. It was all too good. I woke up bright and early, ready for work, as sharp as anything. I was even the first at the office. I was even first to be called by the notorious boss. They called him Triple B. Big belly bastard. He sat me down and said, "Son, it's people like you who are going to take this company to greater heights." I loved my job. But then he said, "Why did you pick this job?" I was gobsmacked. It was obvious. I'd worked hard in school to get a well-paid job at a good firm. It was simple as that. And as simply as that, I lost my job. I quickly packed away my stuff, which was basically my pen, my laptop, and my diary, and went home. Along the way, I met a rose garden and picked one of the roses, and it pricked me. I finally come to know what my father was talking about all these years. See, we're all roses and violets. We're beautiful on the outside. Our luminous color is the color we bring in front of a room with people around us. Our quality and our beauty is our zest for life. But we'll all go through hardship, struggle, and pain. Just like those thorns and violets that attract bees, whatever situation we encountered or whatever problem we're faced with, there will be pain, hurt, and struggle. But the key thing is that it can never take away your value. We may come to know pain, we may come to know hurt, but just like that, we are meant to bring the greater of us in those problems. So this is for you, sophisticated and self-driven single mother of 3. This is for you, unfortunate father from a lineage of fathers who weren't fathered. This is for you, troubled teenager. This child will be great. The cuts you have will bring you luck, and the scars we experience will bring us fortune. Madam Todd, must be conscious.
One minute silence for the judges, please.